Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So this is part 2 of the beginner tutorial. So yeah, we're going to be going into space. So yeah, we're going to be starting with a Mark 1 command pod, and then going ahead and putting a Mark 16 parachute on it. And we're going to be using something we haven't used, we didn't use in the last episode, and that's a decoupler. Now, if you don't know how this works, basically, it decouples pretty much. It separates the ship, so that way, when we're coming back down, we have less weight, so we slow down quicker. So yeah, now under that, we want to go ahead and add on an FLT 800 fuel tank, like that, and then a FLT 400 fuel tank. And underneath that, we want to go ahead and add a swivel engine. Now you might get confused between the Reliant and the swivel. It will say in the name. Now the difference is the swivel has something called gimbal, which is basically the engine kind of turns and allows you to have more control over the ship. The Reliant is more efficient, but it has less control, so it's kind of a trade-off depending on what you want to do. So yeah, this rocket right here should be capable of getting us into space. So we're just going to double check our staging at the bottom right. Like I said last video, we're all good. We got our engine, then decoupler, then parachute. We're just going to go ahead and name it. There we go. So save, and then we're going to go ahead and launch. Okay, so we're on the launch pad. Assuming you already know how to control the craft and kind of what everything on the screen does, then we'll be alright. If you don't, then there's a card in the top right of the screen right now you can click on. That will kind of explain in a bit more detail what everything does on the screen. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to click T to turn on SAS, and we're going to use shift to go up 2/3 on the throttle, because we have quite a big thrust to weight ratio. You can see that by clicking on the staging, the engine, by right clicking on it, and it will bring up a thing. TWR stands for thrust to weight ratio 1.86. So yeah, doing a third of that will be enough to lift us up. If we were to do all of that, then we're just going to be wasting thrust by pushing ourselves up against the atmosphere. So yeah, we're just going to go for 2/3, and we're going to go ahead and click space. So yeah, the overall goal for this launch is just get in space and then back down again. So we're just going to make a slow ascent up right here, and just keeping it at 2/3. We are going a bit slow, but this will just mean it's more efficient. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead, we're going to wait until we reach 5,000 meters, and then we're going to do a slight turn to the right, very slight, just so that way we're not coming directly back down, and we're kind of on an angle, so as we're coming back down we've got more time to slow ourselves down, and also so we aim for the water, so we're at the lowest point possible. So we're coming up to about 5,000 meters. Just press D slightly and try and get down to about here, kind of in between the main line here on the nav ball. See the big line there? It's 45 degrees. Yeah, that. So we're just going to hold this position. This angle right here is about like 22. Yeah, about 22 degrees, 22.5 degrees. Doesn't need to be exactly like that, but about this angle. And we're just going to keep burning. We're going to click M to open up our map as well, and we can hover over this is our Apple axis. This is the highest point that we're going to reach, and it's going up, of course, because we're, you know, our rocket is currently going up as well, so the apparatus will go up. If I were to stop about right now at 100,000 meters, you can see it also stops going up. We're now applying no more thrust, and it will slightly go down because we are still in the atmosphere. So yeah, gravity and air resistance will slow us down. But once we're above 70,000 meters, which is past the atmosphere, we're officially in space. So yeah, just going to go ahead, we're going to click full stop, which will speed us up. And we should be in space once you start hearing music, which you can hear now. So if you actually hover your mouse over the bottom right, over at Jebediah, whoever it is that's flying the ship, you can click EVA. This will actually go ahead and you can go outside. Now you can click space if you want, but you know, you might find trouble getting back with your jetpack. Of course I don't, because I have a bit of, I know how to use it at this point. But when I first used it, it was a little all over the place, so I don't really suggest letting go or going out. Really, you've got no reason to, but that was just a little thing you can do in case you didn't know that. You can mess around with it if you want. So we're just going to do what we did before and point retrograde by clicking on the retrograde marker. Make sure you have SAS on though, because that's the only time you can do that. We're going to go ahead and click full stop again, just to speed ourselves up. When you're in space, you are able to speed yourselves up more, but don't go all the way. You won't be able to, because you can only go at a certain speed at a certain altitude. But yeah, okay, so we're now under 70,000 meters again. The music has stopped, meaning we've entered the atmosphere again. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to click space again and decouple ourselves from the ship. Now, as long as you decouple early like that, it should give it enough time to get enough clearance so you don't go crashing back into it. And we are going about 1,000 meters per second, but that is fine, don't worry. You will slow down really quickly. What you're seeing around the ship here, these flames, that's actually just plasma, and don't worry, it's perfectly normal for your ship to do that upon re-entry. So we're going to go ahead, click space again, which will activate the parachute. Chances are it's not going to come out. That's because we're going too fast, but it will come out on its own, as it just did there. So yeah, at this point we pretty much just wait. You can speed up if you want. Don't go too crazy with it though, do try and speed yourself down just before you hit the ground, just in case the game glitches out. It doesn't really do that much anymore, but that was a big thing in the early stages of the game. It's kind of patched a lot more now, but as you can see, the parachute is deploying. Now we're at 1,000 meters, and it should just be a nice slow descent into the water. Here we go, we're making our way down. 70 meters, 50, 10, and splashdown. There we go. And yeah, that's pretty much how you get into space in Kerbal Space Program. So if you did enjoy, there's some more videos up on screen for you to watch. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.